Hello again. Last but not least, I think is an appropriate saying for this show. Um, we're going to be finishing up with 1919, the end of the particular diary series that I was reading. So let's get started. A couple of interesting things. The editor of the diaries, one of the editors of the diaries, Quentin Bell, who also went on to write Virginia Woolf's biography, is mentioned a few times. Once, to be sure, on the 15th of February, 1919, Virginia Woolf calling him so much more clever than other children. So that's kind of cute. Obviously, they had a pretty close relationship, pretty loving one. Quentin is, of course, the son of her sister, Vanessa, who she's very close with. I can't remember the title right now, but she did write a novel later on in the 30s about the relationship between her and her sister. She kind of idealizes her a little bit, puts her on a pedestal. I didn't read this in her diary, but I was reading a few biographies of VW online, and I kept coming across this affair she apparently had with a woman named Vita Sackville West, who is also another writer. Maybe this is just gossip, but or maybe I am just gossiping, in fact. But I kind of just wonder, what does Leonard think of that? But apparently it was no secret, so maybe he didn't care. And maybe it was blown up to be a little bit more than it really was. Who knows? Anyway, moving on to the diary and away from gossip. Since the second show of Virginia Woolf's diary, there have been no mention of her having any more episodes at all. None. So that's a good 4 years of being episode free, being insanity free. In fact, she's been an amazing mental health, it seems. Her diary entries are vivid and colorful and really paint a really beautiful picture of her life, and sometimes they're even witty. It makes me wonder even more, what causes these episodes? You know, what triggered it last time? Was it her book coming out, or was there some other factor? I'm really unsure, but she obviously was not fine for the rest of her life because she eventually committed suicide, so what was it, you know? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just one of those things that happens. She does mention something in her last entry that does put a bit of a smile on my face, and I would like to read it, and then leave things at that for the show. Let Virginia really speak for herself. So I'm going to go grab the book, and I'll be right back. Okay. So, last diary entry of the whole, I'll show you the cover in just a second. Last diary entry. Okay. It's a little bit long. She's kind of just going through talking about things that have been happening. Her and Leonard apparently got sick, and first it was him, and then she got sick, and let's see what he says. Indeed, since Leonard started his malarial type, we've seen few people, and I for the last 10 days, none at all, but I've read 2 vast volumes of the life of Butler, and I am racing through Greenville memoirs. Both superbly fit the illness. Kind of goes on to talk about that novel that she's reading, and then she says, Leonard's book's not out yet, but we have 6 copies in advance. Negotiations proceed for the sale of Hyde Park Gate and the purchase of this and Suffield. Servants determined to stay forever and ever. No news of the sale of N&D. Reviews a good deal affected by Massingham, but private opinion highly pressing to me. I see the public becomes a question. IR with contemporary and L to keep his office and his virgins. We think we now deserve some good luck. Yet, I dare say we're the happiest couple in England. Thank you for listening and watching, and I hope you have a little bit of a better idea of Virginia Woolf. I know I do, and I'm really excited to read the rest of her, or some more of her novels in the future, and perhaps go on to get volume 2, 3, 4, and 5 of her diaries. Thank you very much, and goodbye.